Discipline is making this video. It's 11:30 p.m. at night. The last thing on my checklist is to make this video. I want to go to sleep. I have a flight in the morning. And this is what we all struggle with. All the different things are going on. But what are the promises we keep to ourselves and how do we make it easier to make them happen? In this video, I'm going to share, I think, some of my intense and also fun strategies that I use to move towards my goals and make self-discipline a thing I enjoy and I'm really proud of. Let's dive in. Why do we challenge ourselves? So my buddy Adam Gilbert from mybodytutor.com, hopefully we'll have a photo of him right up here. He had this line that I wanted to share with you is, self-discipline matters because it is ultimately about keeping the promises we make to ourselves. And when you do that, you get self-confidence and you feel powerful. You're so special, live, laugh, love. It's that, like, why do we do any of this self-discipline? Like, why did I have to make this video at night? Why did I do 204 push-ups today that I said I was gonna be doing it? Why do I follow up and show up on time to these meetings that I said I was gonna do? It's because it makes us feel good about ourselves. No one else is making me do this video, but you know what it is? It's myself, and it makes me feel proud of myself, and it also makes me realize I can accomplish hard things, and so can you. Why do we even need self-discipline? Who wants to be disciplined? That sounds like you're getting spanked. Bad person. No, you're not a bad person. You're a great person. But self-discipline is controlling yourself, which I don't know if we wanna do that all the time. But I do think what's interesting about self-discipline is how do you give yourself a little bit of challenges, maybe think of them as that way, that makes you feel empowered, that makes you feel in control, that makes you realize, hey, I can do a lot more things. Now, maybe you're not accomplishing the things you want to do in your life, so discipline can help you feel better and start moving in that direction. And maybe you're accomplishing the things you want, and honestly, I think for me, that's helped me do a lot of this stuff. So do I think I have abnormal or extremely high self-discipline? Yeah, but it's not something I was born with. It's not like you come out of the womb and they're like, you get the discipline one, you get responsible, okay, you get hair. It's something that's a practice. It's a muscle just like anything else out there. So here are some of my self-discipline strategies that help me be successful in my own life. First off, I have weekly accountability. So every Sunday night, and we'll have an image up here on the screen, I review my previous week with my buddy Adam Gilbert, who I quoted in this video. I say, hey, here's everything that I did last week, let me review it. And then Adam will leave comments. He'll be like, well, what happened here? Good that you did that. And I'll write up accountability of what I'm gonna be doing in this upcoming week and then scheduling it. And so the weekly accountability is a form of self-discipline where I do this every single Sunday. It's automatically in my calendar on repeat. And it provides a nice structure where I know I'm gonna be like, all right, have the discipline to do this thing because I know that it really sets me up for a great week. I've been doing this for 8 years. Like, that is a habit, but it's also the discipline that I don't always wanna do it on a Sunday, but I know it's like, man, this makes my Sunday great, I'll do it. There have been weeks over the years that I've missed. I've had things going on or I'm traveling or vacation. The weeks are harder and I feel a little bit out of my routine, a little out of my element, and it's also good to be a little out of control to see, like, okay, what is life without some of these things, without some of the discipline? I'm like, I kind of like it better that way. My suggestion for you is have someone to support you as you guys are starting to build some of your self-discipline. For me, having the weekly accountability coach with Adam has made a huge success for me. If you want more videos from Uncle Noah, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I put out 3 juicy business videos to help you, yes you, on your self-discipline and your business journey. Make sure to subscribe. One of them is my push-up challenge. So in the beginning of the year, I always like committing to a physical goal. And this year I committed to 75,000 push-ups. So if you can do the math, 75,000 divided by 365 is 205 push-ups every single day. Now, if you've hung out with me in life or you've seen me on the street, you know that I'm probably doing push-ups. Between 50 and 25 at a time. So I'd love for you to join me on that. Now the question is, why do it? And who cares if I don't hit 75,000? Guess what? I'm still end up probably gonna die. I hope not. But this is a form of practice of the discipline. Also, it's enjoyable. I like that I'm feeling strong about myself. It also puts me in a little bit uncomfortable place because we were like, why are you doing push-ups? I'm like, well, I told myself I wanted to hit this goal. And if I can do this, what else can I do in life? So I love that little bit of a micro challenge. Maybe for you, it doesn't have to be push-ups. Maybe it's just like going for a walk around the block and you're gonna do that 7 days a week. I know Mitchell on our team committed to running a mile a day, I think for this entire year. And that level of discipline, no one cares. I don't care, his mama doesn't care, but Mitchell cares. And him accomplishing that, him telling himself he can do that, makes him feel good about themselves. And he's like, yo, what else can I do in life that'll help make me feel good? One thing I've learned about as I've gotten older is that the things that are easy, you don't really feel good about. Like, you know, for the past few years, if I'm honest with you, my work stuff has been pretty easy. Like making YouTube videos, I get to hang out, do a little podcast, a little here. But lately I've been working on appsumo.com and that is hard work. It takes a lot of discipline to stay focused, to organize, do my week stuff that I'm gonna talk to you guys about. That is a lot of discipline. Other examples of discipline, because I think these are really interesting for me to share with you and also inspire you in your own journey. I don't watch TV until weekends. So this is a new one that I've done this year. And so Monday through Thursday, there's no TV, there's no Netflix or movies or any of that stuff at night. There is only reading, learning and videos just like this. I think it makes it sweeter because I did notice at nights, it was just easier for me to just zone out and be like, I need to take the edge off. I need to go relax. But I actually did have the energy, and it's more of like, all right, well, how do I make this a fun, creative time? And then when I'm finally on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday watching Ted Lasso or an Indian movie, a friend recommended Dawn to me to watch, it actually was like, oh, this is actually even more reward for myself versus just kind of like you can have it any day of the week. Now you can ask yourself the same question with food, like maybe just have a cookie whenever you have it. But I've noticed that one, I love chocolate chip cookies, and if I have myself the discipline where like, hey, you don't need it on every single night, but when you have it Friday night, it tastes that much sweeter. So that is another kind of little self-discipline that I like practicing, because then when you do it in maybe things that don't matter, like, hey, I don't have to watch TV during the week. So I think what's interesting is practicing on kind of almost sillier things and keeping that promise to yourself. Now when you're going to bigger things, maybe a relationship, maybe it's your work, maybe it's following through on a project, you're like, man, I've already practiced this in something here. I know I can do this in a lot of other things that maybe matter more to me. Not drinking. There's been a video, you can probably see it below or somewhere on the side, about not drinking. I decided I was not gonna drink until we find the next CEO of AppSumo. We have decided I'm gonna be the interim CEO of AppSumo, and I'm still not drinking. And now it actually doesn't take self-discipline, now it is a habit. But I would say in the beginning, yeah, it was a lot of discipline to make that choice intentionally. And so how do you actually make it an easier form of self-discipline? It's having friend support, it's knowing that you're committed to it for a period of time, it's knowing that you have a reason for it. And that really made it a lot easier of an experience to be like, I'm not drinking, it's not even really a choice for me, and that made it easier to kind of move forward with. Fasting. So on Mondays, I fast till 4 p.m. A few weeks ago, Mitchell and Jeremy came over for a meeting at the house, and they brought lunch, and I didn't eat it. And I've liked fasting for two things, because one, I realized that I'm stronger than I realized. It makes me feel strong. It's not about like intermittent fasting or some new thing I need to talk about friends with. It's just for me. I have it on my calendar in red every Monday, and I don't eat till 4 p.m. And it's a reminder that I can do tough things. Like there's a quote from Glennon Doyle, we can do hard things. And I like that about the fasting. Like I'm hungry. I get a little hangry. All right, gotta be honest with you. And I like that. And that excites me. And I realize I can also do other hard things. So between 2 and 4, I just wanna have snacks. So I have lunch at 12, and then it's snack time, and I'm like, huh, you're hungry, huh? I'm like, yeah. You wanna eat? I'm like, yeah. It's like, you're not gonna do it? I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. And then at 4, I just feel better about myself. I'm like, all right, now you can reward. I think if you break down with the self-discipline, it's like challenge yourself to accomplish something, whatever that is, and then also reward yourself afterwards. A few other quirky ones that I do, if I'm about to go on a plane, like I'm flying tomorrow and my flight is around 2 p.m., I bring my food, but I will not eat food at the airport or on the plane until it gets to 10,000 feet. All right, little self-discipline. I'm at the airport. Obviously, I'm at Taco Deli, and I got tacos, but I don't eat them until I get to 10,000 feet in the air, as I told y'all. Makes me feel good about myself. You can too. On one hand, you're like, either Noah's got a lot of quirks, so it must be interesting to date him, or there's something that like, wow, he likes challenging himself in ways that matter to him and not to anyone else. I don't give a shit. That make me feel good about me and also make me realize like I can do hard things. And the reality about doing hard things and having this discipline and having these challenges is you feel great about yourself. Sometimes with self-discipline, you have to work out the balance of it. I had this thing where I woke up at 5 a.m. every day for 30 days. This is something I did in the podcast. And after that, I was like, I could do this, but life sucks. And then I also did like no coffee for 30 days. And I was like, I could do this, but honestly, I like coffee. I like having it every day. I don't find the discipline of not having it beneficial. But what I found on the other side of that is 2 weeks ago in Asheville, I was like, hey, let's just have 1 cup of coffee a day. You're kind of having too much. So listen to yourself. And every day I just said, you're just gonna have 1. And then the rest of the day I would have water or whatever other kind of drinks we had. And so that balance of seeing, is the discipline actually hurting me or is it helping me? And listening to yourself to make those adjustments accordingly. I only reward myself with nice purchases on weekends. And so the way I look at it is when I do my weekly accountability and have the discipline to set my week up every single Sunday, when I buy something nice, like I just bought this new bike. Hopefully we'll have a screenshot on thing. It's a concept bike for working out at home. And I said, if you get your things done during the week, buy it on the weekend. And I can afford the bike, and this is something for yourself. But instead of just buying it, my therapist was like, just buy it, you can afford it. I'm like, I like earning it. And it felt more like I deserved it and I was proud of it versus like, I have the money, I can just get it. And so I've done that with purchases just during the week. Like anything significant for me, I move to the weekend and my weeks are teched off. Honestly, it also makes me work harder to make sure I accomplish my things. Another thing is Rolex. So if you've seen some of my videos, we'll have some on here. I'm wearing watches, even though I don't generally wear watches. I like it to commemorate moments. So when I got my house, when I was engaged in the past, when I became the CEO, when I flew my first airplane flight by myself, it motivates me. It's like, you want to accomplish something hard. Yeah, it's going to take a lot of discipline to make that happen. It's hard. It's a clear thing that I can accomplish. And at the same time, I think there's a formula here. It's like, what is something you really want? What is something you have to work hard for? And what is a way you can reward yourself? And so I like the idea of the discipline of, I can reward myself with something nice through a self-discipline and hard work to accomplish something. And so I do that with Rolexes. I don't know if you have any other suggestions or for yourself, what is something proud or hard that you want to be accomplishing and how are you going to reward yourself? I think with all the self-discipline, there's a really interesting balance of the future. You're like, oh, I want to accomplish all this stuff in the future, but give yourself a little bit of credit of all the things you've already accomplished. And I think that's the balance of self-discipline where you can do all these push-ups every day, or you can have self-discipline on what you're not eating, or self-discipline on your time you're waking up, or how you do all this different stuff. But you just give yourself a little credit, all the things you're accomplishing. I think that's some of the stuff that's missed out when people are talking habits and like super efficiency. We live this life and you're gonna die either way, whether you do the push-ups or whether you get the Rolex or whether you don't watch TV. So be nice to yourself during this whole experience. You don't have to have self-discipline and be upset all the time. A few things with discipline that I think will help you be successful with it is figure out how do you sustain discipline. I talked about a little bit about how to revisit your discipline and make sure it's actually helping you, but figure out how to make it fun so you can sustain it. So let me give you 2 examples. When I was doing my podcast, I had the discipline to do at least a year of podcast. And I've talked to you before about Law of 100, which is do at least 100. So 100 videos, 100 YouTube, 100 sales calls, 100 days, but it just wasn't fun. And I had the discipline, I could do it longer, but it just was like, this is not a discipline that's really serving me. And I kind of gave up because I was like, well, no, I have to do this job that I don't have to do. Or I was doing these dinners here and I had this discipline I was gonna do them every other week and we had a chef and I was like, I'm paying to do this thing that I don't really like. And so I think what you need to look at is in the discipline, how do you make it something you actually want the reward of it? So it takes discipline to go to the gym regularly. It's like, how do you even make that a habit so you don't have to have that discipline? And so for me with this YouTube channel, it was like, I hired people, Jeremy and Mitchell and others to help me do this. And it's like, how do we make topics that are great for you and fun for us to create content around? It's less so much of discipline, like I have to go make a video, but it's like, hey, I'm actually looking forward to it. So maybe think about mindset-wise, how can you shift your perspective on the discipline that you're actually doing? By the way, am I a discipline expert? Am I David Goggins who's yelling at you, or he's biking for 4 days through a desert with no water and only with one leg? No, I am no expert. Have I accomplished different things in my life that maybe some of you wanna do? Yeah, possibly. What I'm trying to share with you is that self-discipline for me has made me feel good about myself, makes me feel like I can accomplish more, and also I enjoy the rewards of my work versus like, yeah, I did it, For me, this is a lot of satisfaction. If you feel like you already have discipline, you can ignore the stuff. If you don't feel like you have any discipline, start with something small today. Maybe it's even just like doing 1 push-up or 1 jumping jack. Or maybe like one thing I've been doing for self-discipline is 5 days a week, I do morning pages where I write a journal, just about anything that I want, and I've been doing it for about 4 weeks. And honestly, I think I can do this for many, many weeks to come. One thing that might help you with your discipline is commit to it for a fixed period of time. I'm gonna do this 4 weeks and then I can make a reevaluation. If you like this video, I think you're gonna love this video right up here. Make sure you check that out. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you know what to do right down below. I love you and I'll see you out there. Pew, pew.